Team RWBY was doing their usual thing, having infighting as Blake and Weiss got into their fight, making Blake run away. Meanwhile, outside Beacon Courtyard, we see the three Imperials gathered near a bonfire. Jaune. So, this was a good idea. Magnus, I never gone camping before, this should be good. Conrad. They were roasting marshmallow s'mores. Conrad took a bite and just enjoyed the night. Magnus, I am still interested with the history of this planet. Jaune. The fairy tales will be something to look at since these tales often carry a bit of truth in them. Magnus had paper ready and was writing things down for further study. Then they hear someone crying due to their sharp senses. Jaune looked to see Blake in front of a statue. He then approached her while his uncles watched from afar. Jaune, Blake? Blake turned to him in surprise but relaxed, knowing it was a more understanding and calm friend. Blake, Jaune? What are you doing here at this hour? Jaune points behind him with his thumb, showing two giants roasting marshmallows on a campfire. Blake, oh. Jaune, what are you doing out this late? And crying of all things. Blake, Jaune, it must be hard being a faunus, huh? She forgot her ears are out in the open. Jaune, is it because of Schnee? Blake, how did you? Jaune, I am well informed about the news in this kingdom, Blake. The Schnee family is so notorious about their patriarch's racist behavior. That got Conrad interested. Jaune, do you want to go back to your dorm? Blake, anywhere but there. I need a place to think. Jaune, I have a place for you to lay low if you want to blah. He felt something. Jaune, why do I get the feeling that the trees have eyes? He threw his stick at one of the trees, and a monkey fell out of it. Blake, you're that faunus being chased by the police. Conrad, oh, a lawbreaker. Let me have a word with him. Jaune, no, Uncle Conrad, no mutilations. Conrad, I'm not gonna kill him, nephew. I'll just make him regret ever breaking the law. Jaune, I know you were the law in Nostromo, but this is my home, and I won't condone it. What would poor Adrian think of you? That got Conrad to freeze. He didn't want to disappoint his little nephew. Blake, we better go, and I think he might follow us. He gave me a weird look before. Jaune glanced at Sun, then at Magnus. Magnus, yeah, I can teleport him away. He waved his hand and Sun was teleported away and into a jail cell. Jaune, let's go to Vale. I have a shop there. You can lay low until you're ready to talk to your team. Blake, what about yours? Jaune was texting on his scroll. Magnus, what is that, nephew? Jaune, a scroll. Magnus, it's not paper. Jaune, it's just called that. It's Remnant's communication device. Magnus, hold on, what about the machine spirit? Jaune, can we talk about this later when we're somewhere warm? He noted Blake holding herself. Magnus, oh, sorry. Let's go. There is no time to be lost. He then teleports all of them to a small blacksmith shop. Jaune, pardon the mess. The guest room is upstairs, and there are regular-sized spare clothes, although it's just a t-shirt and shorts. Blake, it's fine, I'll make myself at home. Jaune, have a good night's sleep. Blake, and what about you? Jaune, me and my uncles have some things to talk about. She nods and went up. She was pretty tired. Magnus was messing with Jaune's scroll. Conrad, Jaune, nephew, I heard from news in Argus that there were rampant crime happening here. Jaune, you want a green light to act. Conrad, I promise I won't kill anyone. Just beat them. Jaune, I will hold you to that promise. And make sure that Roman Torchwick would walk funny. Conrad nods as he steps out. And the Night Haunter is loose in Vale. Jaune, so Uncle Magnus, if you're still preoccupied with my scroll. Magnus, this is abominable intelligence. Jaune, yes and no. Unlike on Terra, it's not a self-learning aid, it more so assists people. Magnus, Interesting. If this thing could be adapted, a lot of our technology would improve drastically. Jaune, good. Even though Remnant is lacking on military might, they were able to contribute with something else. Magnus. Indeed. Well, here you go, that curiosity of mine is satisfied. I would help myself to your library. Jaune, help yourself. I'm gonna pack it in for today. I need to go out early in the morning to get some groceries for Blake and for us since we are staying over. Get some sleep too, Uncle. It's not good for your health to stay up. Good night, Magnus. Good night, nephew. I'll enjoy these for a while. Sleep tight.